My name is Pat Paul. I am from San Francisco, California. Yeah, but I'm from San Francisco Bay Area, born and raised. I love it out there, never went anywhere else. I actually played football, did that thing. It's kind of circling me all the way back now. I'm in this barbering game, doing this thing here, and I love it. So this is actually, you guys are so special to me. Somebody ask me why.
Why?
Thank you. You are now the second hair show class I've ever taught. My first one was earlier today. Appreciate it. I was hoping that somebody was going to say that. Anyway, I say that to say we're learning together, we're growing together in this moment, right? And as I've learned in barbering, one of the dopest and greatest things about this craft that we all share together is we're able to continually learn. Continued education is huge, right? It's about what you want to know, what you have to know, how you're going to grow in this industry. So I'm not going to belabor this. You guys see at the handout I passed around to all of you on the written piece of that Johny B piece, where it's not the actual head diagram, but it talks about a 4-step cutting method. In that 4-step cutting method is our dry cut. So we'll start to dry cut. We'll introduce our dry cutting, what we do in dry cutting, how that looks, and you know how we're going to operate in that area. Step 2, we'll go into the wet cut, and then I'll kind of introduce you guys to how we use product when it comes to cutting the hair wet. Some of us, many barbers around the world, spray bottle, get the hair wet, cut it, that's it, that's all. But there's so much more that can go into that process, not only to make that process easier for you, but to build in the final result that you want at the end of the haircut process, right? Every step that we take throughout this process will come to an end goal where we all want to be at the end of the haircut, how it wants to look. Step 3 is the blow dry method. So then we'll go into a blow dry, how that should look, how that blow dry feels, what we're using, the product that we're using inside the blow dry, the tools that we're using for blow dry. And then we'll go into our final styling, which is the final step, and that's how we'll finish off the cut. I have my guy Carlos here today. Carlos, come on up. Everybody clap your hands for Carlos. All right, Carlos. Carlos, when we talked to Carlos earlier in the day, Carlos said, hey, I'm growing my hair out. I'm trying to grow my hair out. Of course, the next question that we have for Carlos is, can I cut your hair? It only seemed right that was the next step on what we were going to. Carlos was such a great sport, and he decided he was going to come in and get cut today. However, what I'm going to do is that we are going to cut Carlos' hair. We're going to use some clippers, we're going to use some scissors, some shear work, but we are going to preserve the length that he's trying to grow out, right? I'm not going to be counterintuitive in this moment to get him to a place where I feel like I want him to be for the sake of the class, but I'm going to continue doing what he wants to be done to his hair, but just clean it up and make it look, not that it doesn't look amazing right now, but make it look a little more, you know, presentable, more clean, a more kind of polished look to that, all right? So what do we have, step one? Drake. That was a really, really good opportunity for you to say Drake, and I appreciate that moment for you. Step 1 is our dry cutting method. So what I do is I do drape my client. Carlos, okay, look at you already. You know what I mean? First time in the process, we're going to introduce a product. This is our aftershave. Why are you introducing aftershave when we're getting started? Like we're about to start a haircut and you're introducing aftershave. Well, this aftershave is really important for our service. This is 99% alcohol, which means that I have the ability to do what?
Get them drunk.
Disinfect.
This is 97% alcohol, so I have the ability to disinfect. So I start off my service always by kind of spraying a little bit of that aftershave on my hands, disinfecting my hands. This does have essential oils in it. Okay, as you can see, I'm gonna pass this around. You guys can kind of pass this through class, smell it, touch it, feel it, however you want to do. Drink it, however you want to make it happen. It does have a nice scent to it. You smell that scent. It's an AM scent. We do have 4 different scents with our aftershaves. AM. AM is in the morning. What happens after the morning?
Wait, what?
Huh? Noon. We get to noon, about 12 o'clock. We get to noon, then we go afternoon, we go evening, which is in turn of PM, right? So we have AM, noon, PM. Oh, but then we got midnight. So aftershaves that are in plastic bottles, we understand that plastic bottle is eating up that essential oil. So it dilutes the integrity of the essential oil. So we use our glass bottles to make sure that essential oil is always present in the process. The next thing that I will be introducing to us all today, and this is where we're going to start our haircut, is our fade comb. This is one of my favorite combs in the world. It is very ergonomic, easy for me to hold in my hand. I have a handle, nice and easy. It is very pliable, flexible, which means that as I'm doing my clipper over comb, shear over comb work, I have the ability for this to kind of round with the head, round with the scalp, round with what I have working with me in front of me to be able to get a more uniform and unified cut. Does that make sense? So we're going to start with that today. Also, what color is this? Purple. You sure? You're right. Okay. Purple, I mean, you know, it could have went either way there. You know, it could have, no, it couldn't. I'm not going to lie to you. It is a blue comb. The reason being is that now with any type of hair color, I can see the hair through the comb. Okay, if they have gray hair, white hair, very visible. Blonde hair, very visible. Black hair, very visible. The only time I'm gonna be in trouble is if I get a little bit of royal blue hair in my shirt. Then I'm gonna be in a little bit of trouble. I don't really have many people that I have that have royal blue hair, if any, so I think I'm gonna be okay. Okay? So through the consultation, like I said, we had a conversation, me and Carlos, we talked very, very long, in depth, had a very, very long conversation. Great guy. Carlos is a great guy. So what we're going to do is today, I am going to take this clipper comb and I'm going to bevel it on the nape area just to give it a little bit of a tapered look in the neck. But I still want to preserve what? Hey, don't be afraid of me. I'm not afraid of you. Talk to me, I'm going to talk back. That's how it's going to go. Hi, how you doing? What's your name? With the glasses, don't do that. Don't duck. Don't duck. Kev? And behind him? That's the second one, swear to God, no lie, I'm not lying to you. I have another lady in my first class, her name is Crystal, sat right here. You're in bed, I don't know what's, let me tell you, can I tell you the truth too? And you're recording me, don't show this to her, but it's fine. It's fine, you got it. I always remember Crystal, because that's my baby mother name. Don't So Crystal, I'm gonna talk to you very nicely. I'm going to be very, you know, here we go. Hi, how are you? Hope everything's well. So what we're going to do is we're going to come right here in this nape area. We're going to start our cut. So we're going to expose that hair at the nape area. We're going to make our first pass. What does that now do for us?
Guide.
Set a guide. You are so smart. I like you. What's your name?
Steven.
Steven.
Am I your second Steven too?
You're the first Steven. First Steven. You're the first guy that came to class with a beard. Shout out to you. So we're just going to come in here a little bit and bevel it again using that guide to where we just cut before. And going to just kind of come in here and round out this thing. Hi, how you doing? My name is Pat. Welcome in. Y'all ever want to like make people uncomfortable on purpose? I've been that guy at times where I'm like, if somebody comes to my class, I teach too in school, and if somebody like comes into the class late, oh, it's so bad. You're good though. All right? I can say. Yeah, you can say. Yeah, you're fine. You're fine. Don't worry about it. So once again, we're using the guide that we already created, and we're just going to kind of use this fade comb here and start to slightly come up on the nape area to make sure that we're making that blend nice and seamless. Once again, we're preserving a lot of this length. We're just cleaning up as we go now. And I'm so excited about Carlos' haircut because a lot of times with barbers, the #1 issue that we have is shear cutting. A lot of us can turn clippers on and go at it. I mean, we can fade all day. You can get a fade anywhere. But tell your barber to put some scissors in their hand, it might get a little sketchy. So, once again, using the previously cut guide that I had in the middle, I'm just matching everything. I'm matching it all as I come around. Carlos does have a slight amount of product in his hair, but that actually works to our benefit in this portion because what it's holding all of that hair in place. It's holding all that hair right where we want it.
When you do your clipper over comb, like what's the most important thing when you do that so you don't ruin it?
Always having a bit of your guide. So as I come up with my clipper over comb section, how y'all doing? My name is Pat, nice to see you. Another one.
Another beer, there you go.
You're not alone. You're not alone. Welcome. You didn't bring me one? No Corona for me? Okay. So one thing that you always want to do when you're talking about clipper over comb is that you're always cutting the hair that falls in the comb. Never cutting the hair that's outside of the comb, above it, underneath it. because that's where you're going to put holes and things like that in your haircut. The one good thing about this Johny B comb that I love, I'm in love with, is that any clipper blade, Fabulous, Wall, and this Stylecraft, this is the Stylecraft Johny B clipper. I know you want one. This blade, all these blades are compatible with the width of our combs. So if I put this blade here, blade and comb teeth match. So if all of that, as I'm clipper over combing, all of that is right there in the middle of it. So I'm never cutting that hair that's outside of that because all the hair fits the same width of my blade. You want to comb too?
That's what's up, though.
I got you. I got you. I got a question later. You might want to comb. Same. All right. Once again, coming back underneath, cleaning up all these little hairs here in that area. And I'm a person, I'm a fast kind of a, I cut hair really, really fast. All of my clients are usually 30 minutes in, 30 minutes out. So slowing down to make sure that we all have a clear understanding of what we're looking for today and how we should be doing this, okay? So I'm gonna take my shears out because like I said, what are we doing with this particular haircut? Preserving length, right? Preserving length. I don't want to take off too much because if I take off too much, you know, Carlos had an idea of what he wanted. He was going for something before he met me today. You know, when he came and met me today, and I told him I was going to cut his hair, and he was like, I'm growing my hair. It was like a very hard battle right there with me and him, and I don't want that. I want him to leave this moment feeling good, so I'm going to take my thinning shears, right? Still using my fade comb. Hi, Betty. This is Betty. Everybody clap your hands for Betty. Betty is also a Johny B educator. She's coming to check on me to make sure everybody feels like I'm doing a good job. Everybody, real quick, as you're sitting here, turn around and say, Betty, Pat's doing a great job.
Betty, Pat's doing a great job.
There you go. There you go.
He's one of the best.
There you go. So now we're good. Now I trust you. And for all of you that said nothing,
He knows now.
my eyes are out. So I'm taking these thinning shears and now I'm going into this bottom portion of the haircut. And now I'm just kind of softening any lines that I might be seeing. Any hard lines that might be here at the bottom of that nape area, I'm going to start to soften that with my thinning shears. Great thing about this moment right here though, is that in this time, I now get a chance to see where I'm going to start stamping my lines at the bottom, right? A lot of times what happens is that for him, like I said, he's trying to grow that hair out. So I'm going to taper it down and then I'm going to round it out. That's what he walked in with. That's what I want him to leave with. That's what the client is most comfortable with. I'm not doing in this moment what I feel is best. I'm doing in this moment what my client is comfortable with. That makes sense. A lot of times as barbers, we're trying to give everybody the coldest fade in the world. It's not about that. It's about what your client wants. It's about what your client thinks is best for them. So after I've gone ahead and did that, I'll come back with the number 1 guard. And I'll begin to kind of taper out the bottom neckline here. And I'm not even really touching the scalp with my clipper. At this time, what I'm doing is that I am kind of, you see this C kind of motion that I have, where I'm using the teeth of my blade. What I've learned later in life as a barber, all the time I was always putting my blade flat on the client's neck, or flat on the client's surface. I was always cutting real good, right here, flat to it, and just kind of moving with that motion. And then I kind of learned I can manipulate this clipper to do what I wanted to do, and not have to continually change guards, right? If I can keep this 1 guard on here for as long as possible, going up as high as possible with the blend, I save time. And what does time save? Money, right? I get to get him out of the chair and make some more money when he leaves. But it's not about money, Carlos. It's about you looking beautiful. Forget the money. I'll take the beauty. I'm lying, Carlos. I actually really like money. I'm happy that you laugh, like, because you're making me feel like I'm saying something that's actually funny. Meanwhile, some of y'all are trying to smile. All right, so now, after I feel like this neck portion is done, after I feel like I've kind of completed the area there that I'm looking to do, I'm not taking off that much. I'm keeping it real natural, and I'm going to taper this out. I grabbed my Stylecraft protege clippers. If you don't know, now you know. Stylecraft and Johny B have now collaborated. Fun fact. So now I got a little bit of Stylecraft knowledge too. So if you want to go over there, he don't really know enough about Johny B, but I know a lot about Stylecraft. Ooh. Kevin. That's crazy. I thought he was So as you guys can see, one thing I'm all about when I'm cutting hair is comfortability for the client, right? I know that I've set these clippers in a way that it's going to pull a straight line, it's going to pull a crisp line, but it's also set in a way that I'm not going to have red marks all around my client neck. The worst part about some of this stuff that I see is that sometimes people set their clippers so close that they drawing blood. You might as well be at the blood bank, you know what I mean? But set your clippers in a way that is comfortable for your client, but also is still able to pull and draw really good lines for yourself. So as you guys can see, you see no redness on his neckline, you see no irritation on his neckline, but you do see a line, right? Sometimes you don't have to have them set so close, and I'm gonna do this all over the back because I don't know if y'all can actually see what I see. Do you see what I see? Why you do that to him? So I'm just going around the neckline. I don't know why I'm laughing. Just going around the neckline, making sure that that's nice and set in. As you guys can see from the front portion of this, if I'm standing back where y'all are, you can also kind of see a little bit of a taper. I also see some work area right here on the bottom right. Rocking out kind of come in and kind of, you ain't gonna say nothing? You was gonna let me just over here be bad. That's crazy. But no, sometimes, like I say, as a barber, one thing that's always good to do as a barber is look at the haircut, look at the fade from different angles, right? A lot of times I could be sitting right here staring right at this fade and it looks good to me from this angle. But if I go to the front of the hair, I can see inconsistencies within that blend. So always look at your fades from different angles. It'll help you out a lot, I promise. So I'm going to tilt Carlos's head just a little bit here. I'm going to use my comb to pull up this hair here that's in that corner that was nice and meaty that you let me do. But now I can see, now I can get to a place where I'm starting to lighten this up some. And as I'm cutting, as I'm doing this work, who left?
Oh, Crystal.
I know you're lying.
They left.
That's what happened in real life. It's just like, the level of heartbreak is real. It's just, as soon as I get out of this class, I'm gonna call her and be like, you know what? Y'all all the same. Y'all all are the same. This is so bad. I probably shared a little bit too. I probably shared a little bit too much of my personal life. Yeah, you know, we actually have 2 kids, so.
My baby mama's a Crystal too. She's no more.
Oh, we're in this together. We should have a support group called Somebody Crystal. Oh, you're a friend, huh? Oh man, I apologize. I didn't say none of that. She's a great, great person. So right now I'm just kind of coming through the back neckline and just kind of evening up everything, right? The best thing that you guys can do is use different tools to do different things, right? I learned early in my life, early in my barbering career, I didn't use my shears enough. Right? I didn't use my shears enough. I thought that everything had to be a clipper. But if you began to really dive into shears and seeing what those shears have the ability to do for you, you'll learn that there are so many more different textures and hairstyles and things you can build into a haircut to really change and to alter how a haircut comes out, right? This chair is so low. And my back like I'm limboing out here. This is amazing. But this is really, really good. I love her. Who brought her? She's laughed at
Me,
everything.
myself, and I.
Everything I've said, she's laughed. The rest, Kevin.
He paid me to laugh, sorry.
My boy, huh?
I'll get my
Kevin, you from LA area? You from the LA area?
Nah, SD.
Where?
SD.
Oh, you with him? Y'all together?
No.
You know, but y'all know each other?
Yes.
Okay, for sure. Yo, SD too?
It's a good dude.
Kevin's a good dude?
Good dude.
For sure, Kevin. For sure. No beef, no beef. Okay, so once again, we're going to kind of just taper this in a bit. You guys see how kind of thick that this has gotten in that area? So now we're just going to come over with some clip roller comb, tighten it to his scalp just a tad bit, understanding what way we want that hair to fall. Does anybody understand when I say how the hair falls? right? So with him, everything right now is going backwards. So when I'm cutting hair, when I want everything to flow backwards, which way should my angles be? Diagonal. Everything should be diagonal backs, because that means that the hair on the top is longer than the hair on the bottom, which falls now to a diagonal fall. Make sense? Or not? My man looking like that.
No.
Okay.
You got the top right here sticking back, right?
Mhm.
You're talking about the bottom here?
The bottom on the sides, yeah.
Okay, so where you fix that? Angling what, this way?
Angling that way. So this is how my angle is.
Yeah, right there you go. Okay, I got you.
Got me? So once again, the great thing about this, and can you feel that pressure that I'm putting on your face to kind of bend the comb a little bit? So I'm putting this pressure on his face to make that comb end up doing a little bit of this action, where it is slightly beveled at the top to preserve that length at the top. So that's why I say these combs are so dope, because I have that ability to do that, okay? Once again, anything that falls out of the comb has to go. Anything that falls without that comb, and I keep my guide in there, anything that's overlapping that has to go. Okay? So what I'll end up doing is now is I'll take this one guard with the clipper open. Once again, what am I doing in this haircut? Preserving length. I knew you were about to say that. I knew. I just wanted to say. I would like your nails too. Fire. Fire. Scary, but fire. Once again, just kind of using the corner of that blade to just kind of soften up that area and produce a little bit of a fading effect. Because there's two different types of fading. You talk about fading where it's just a natural, actual graduation in the fade, but then there's also an effect that you can put into the haircut where it looks like it's faded, where it's really not faded, but that it appears to be faded. I know that's a hard way to think about it, but that's just what it is. Do you normally square off your sideburns, Carlos? Or leave them kind of connected going into the bottom of your beard area?
Yep, kind of connected.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take our comb and we're going to comb all of this hair down. Anything that falls over the natural hairline comes off, right? So I have the side here, so I see that that's where his beard is. I'll just put a little bit of a stamp there with my liner, and now I'm using the corner of my blade to come in here and take off anything that falls outside of that area. I'm not pushing his hairline up, I'm not pushing his hairline in. I want the very natural hairline to come through, but I also want it to look like Carlos has gotten a haircut. Like I said, in this process, if you guys see anything and you have any questions, please feel free to ask me, Pat, why are you doing that? Or why are you doing it like that? Fun fact, you ready? I write left-handed, I cut hair left-handed, I eat left-handed, I shoot a basketball right-handed. I thought I'm ambidextrous. My mom told me that means I'm special.
You are.
You said I'm sure she did? That's crazy. What is the most challenging thing for some of us as barbers right now when it comes to haircutting?
You don't say lineups depending on your head shape.
Lineups, you know what? I had the pleasure. I'm one of the team barbers for the Golden State Warriors. I'm a Laker fan though.
Oh.
Yeah. You thought you was gonna get me with that? No. Been a Laker since birth.
How much you charge him?
Huh?
How much you charge him?
The same amount I would charge you.
Probably double.
No. That's not fair. Just because they got a little more money don't mean I should charge them more. But Moses Moody from the Lakers, from the Warriors, great guy, bad hairline. And that hairline takes me a very, very long time because it's a lot of it. He has a very big head, and it just keeps going and going and going.
Did you cut Kaminga's hair off?
I did not do that. I was not the one that did that. Actually, fun fact, he did that himself. And when he did it himself, I said, JK, people are now going to think that I did this, and I have a reputation to uphold, and you just played me. The amount of phone calls I got that night where it was like, Pat, you did that? And I was like, I didn't do that, bro. I did not. I called him, I said, look, I can't cut your hair no more, bro. Because you got people out here thinking that's me. But no, I didn't do that. No, don't do that to me.
Honestly, the most thing I got difficult with, not difficult, but I'm always like, oh man. So you know, he lined up one side of the ear, and then when you go to the other side, you want to line it up, it's all awkward, you gotta twist your
You gotta stop drinking beers with Steven before you line it up. You gotta be sober.
Yeah.
But do you guys see a little bit of the taper that I did put in there? It's very slight, but it matches what he's trying to do with his hair. He's trying to grow it out. So if we juxtapose that, this side, juxtaposing that with this side, we do see a clear and distinct difference. Do we? For sure. Okay. So and I could even go even tighter at the bottom of this and if I want to. Is that okay? Yeah, I'm not cutting a lot of hair off. I promise you. Carlos is nervous. It's okay though. He's been a great sport. I really appreciate you. Because I didn't know what I was going to do. I was going to have to cut somebody's hair that already had a haircut. And that was going to be an awkward moment up here trying to figure out how to act like I'm cutting hair when I'm really not cutting hair. So that's all. So just kind of really putting that in a little bit more sharper to really see that there is some type of fade going on there. So now I'm going to do the same thing on this side that we did on this side. Monkey see. Well, you're not that bad to get ready fan. Are you ready fan too? Niners? Well, why you didn't say nothing? You let me hear you jump. That's crazy. You jump in here, you just sitting there. I'm not catching no strays. That's crazy. So once again, you guys see the angle of my comb. Yeah? Take it off. All right, once again, we're back in. Get that angle right, take it off. Once again, we're back in. Angle right, take it off, right? Now that's exactly how I want it to be. I don't have to do much more, right? Once you get in there and do what you initially want to do with the clipper, now you can now transition, or with the fade comb, now you can now transition into what's next. You got a lot of notes, and I really appreciate that for you. What does it say? Huh? No. Who can tell me what step 2 is?
What?
Cut wet. Cut wet. Because you said cut wet, I'm gonna give you a fade comb. Yeah, you know, might as well.
Come on up here.
Got a lot of them.
I'm gonna use it too. Make sure I
There you go. That's all you, no doubt. Appreciate you for answering the question correctly. I bet y'all say something now. I don't know what I got in this bag. You better start talking. Hello. So now, once again, I'm just going to begin to kind of feather out. You guys see how I use that C motion in my cutting technique. And that is to not dig in too deep of what I've already established at the top of this portion. Now I'm going to close this down a little bit. Johny B. Clipper has the notches. I come down 2 clicks. Bless you. Bless you. Hi, how you doing? What's up? I don't know, you came in with a bandana around his neck. I'm in LA, I don't know what it is. I don't know what's happening. So I was real cool with you. Hi, how you doing? Nice to see you. Good to see you. Come on in, have a seat.
You got real nice.
Huh?
You got real nice.
I'm a non-affiliate. In the day, we do things a little different. All right. Oh, you from San Diego with them? Yeah. Oh, okay, you good. Is he good? I don't know. Is that good? All right, cool. Never mind. Anyway, now on this side, we're going to do the same thing we did on the opposite side. Once again, monkey see, monkey do. Now we're getting into going over the ear like you talked about, opposite. All of this is that the angles now change, right? So this side I might come this way, this side I might go that way. It's all about how comfortable I am. Once again, keeping that natural hairline, not digging into that too much, but just kind of cleaning up all those hairs that fall over the natural hairline. I appreciate that you have a camcorder. Special. No one knows.
Takes it back.
Yeah, that's Anderson 4K. Hello. How do I look? Good. How's my hair look? Let me tell you guys, I just went bald this year. Let me not say that I didn't go bald. I chose to cut my hair. I can grow it back if I want to. So let's not act like. All right, here we go. So now we're going to get into the portion that we're talking about. We see all this hair that's hanging over here, right? Now I'm going to come up and over. So I'll use the corner of my blade here, and I'll just kind of trace up and over around the ear until I get to the top of the ear. Once I get to the top of the ear, combing all that down, combing all that off, once I get to the top of the ear, right on the top, I'll transition to coming up from the other side and meeting myself. Y'all ever play connect the dots? Remember when we was in school and they had like the paper and they had like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like 50, up to 50? And then some of y'all went 1, 2, 8. And then when they all got done, you were like, where did I go wrong? And it was like that one line that went across the paper that should have never went across the paper. No, act like that wasn't y'all. That was you. Or y'all you too young, you didn't do that? Oh really? They don't do connect the dots anymore in school? Okay, so back in the 1900s, there was this thing called connect the dots, and when you did it, you had to connect the dots across the paper. And when you finished, it was a shape. It was either an animal.
Was it like those math ones?
What?
Yeah, like the timetable ones.
No,
We was just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You had to do timetables to do it.
That wasn't fun.
That wouldn't, hell no. I wouldn't have got past one. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, so that's what happened. And we, what was that? Raiders fans. Always got something to say. All right, now we're transitioning into step number 2. Step number 2, my man that got the comb said, it is our wet cutting method. At Johny B, we have always, for a very long time, used Code B in our step 2. We have now transitioned from using Code B to using our control gel, right? Because whenever you're cutting, especially at longer lengths like how we have here with Carlos, this is coming out nice, Carlos, I promise you. Like we're transitioning with Carlos, longer hair needs more control, right? And it's not just enough, we're gonna come out here, he has a little bit of product in his hair right now, but most of the time we'll come in like this and we'll just wet him down, right? We'll saturate the hair, making sure that we have what? Even saturation throughout, right? Why do we need even saturation throughout a haircut?
So you can work the whole hair.
Huh?
So you can work the whole head.
So I can work the whole hair, but what does even saturation give me? Say it out loud. Even cut, right? The issue with a lot of times with us is that the reason why our cuts come off a little bit, peaks and valleys, is because we don't have even saturation. So part of the root is more dry than another part of another section of hair. So this hair looks saturated, but the root's not saturated. So when it doesn't become fully pliable, we try to pull that hair straight up off of the scalp. Does that make sense? So now if we have even saturation, now when we pull that hair up to cut it, it all cuts evenly and uniformly, okay? So, like I said, Carlos had a little bit of product in here, so I'm using a little bit more water than normal. And that's just to kind of wash that product out. Was your product water-based or oil-based, do you know?
Not sure.
Not sure about Johny B. We offer both oil and water-based products. Like I did that, right? Okay, so we offer both oil-based and water-based pomades. Today on Carlos, I'm going to use our street cream pomade. It has a little bit of fiber in it, it has a little bit of hold, pliability, it has motion still, because I still want his hair to have a little bit of flow, right? I don't want his hair to be like, stuck where it can't move, right? So now that hair is nice and saturated, I'm going to begin to do my initial cutting. What are we doing? Always remembering that we are trying to preserve length, right? So before I even do that, I told you guys we have now transitioned to not only using water or Code B, but now we use control styling gel as our step 2. So what I'll do is I'll take a little bit of this control gel, put this on my hand, okay? Once this goes on my hand, I begin to emulsify it, right, all the way through, so I can get even distribution throughout the hair. So I'll start from the roots, kind of putting this in, and it's a gel. It's an actual gel, right? So when I try to section this hair, because this has gel which has hole in it, what do you think that's going to do for me?
Great, better.
Makes sectioning a lot easier. Right, makes sectioning a lot easier because this does have a bit of hole in it. So I'm going to use my smaller shears here. And like I said, with the angle that I'm trying to achieve right now for him is that I have to have diagonal partings to keep flow. I want this to still flow back. I want it to still all kind of come evenly together, right? So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to go from the temple peak, the box area, right here at the top of the box area, come around that parietal, give me a slight U-shaped parting, push that hair up, push this hair down. His hair does not want to go this way. So now I'm going to diagonally part here. And this is going to be my guide. Throughout this haircut, I will have a traveling guide system. So I am left-handed, as you guys have learned from Steven. But I'm going to just kind of take off just maybe about a 1/4 inch of hair, not even of that, a little bit shorter than that. And that'll be my traveling guide. Who understands the difference between a traveling guide and a stationary guide? You know the differences? Stationary guide is never moving. Always going to stay right there. I bring all that hair to that stationary guide, then I cut. Okay, traveling guide moves with me throughout the haircut. So I'm going to take this piece of hair that flows back here, and now this is going to go with me backwards throughout the entire haircut. Right? Having that guide there, boom, I see my guide, boom, 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 cut. Another diagonal portion, diagonal sectioning. Why? Because I want that hair to do what? Flow back. Flow backwards. Diagonal section has helped me with that opportunity to have all that hair flow back. How many first timers do I have to this particular expo? First timers? This is beautiful. It's my first time too. Okay. Here.
Well,
Thank you. Appreciate you. What's your name?
Daniel.
Daniel. Stephen and Daniel. The Corona brothers. Stephen and Daniel. I like that. Huh?
I ran out.
You ran out?
Me too, Dan.
Did we just become best friends? I love her. I love her so much. She's the greatest. Once again, following this diagonal parting all the way through, right? I don't want to kind of over-direct too much. I want to stay working on the section that is right in front of me. Like I told Carlos when we talked about how he was growing his hair out, and then we had the conversation about me cutting it. I don't want to do too much right here. I just want to make sure that I'm cleaning up that that's already been established to keep Carlos in a position to continue on the journey that he's been going on. I think that he's excited about the potential of growing out his hair, and I don't want to mess that up right now. Who am I to ruin Carlos's dream? As you hear this cutting, I promise you I'm not cutting a lot. Tell him I'm not cutting a lot. Okay. Once again, continuing to do that all the way around the head. Who has issues with shears? Hi, nice to meet you. My name is Pat. I've had issues with shears. My name is Pat and I'm a shear hawk. I've now gotten to a place within my career where shears is one of my favorite things to do. I love them. I spent a lot of money on them, so I better love them. Everyone sees this parting here, how it's kind of flowing backwards. You see how it is all flowing backwards? What I really want to do is I really want to accentuate that flow. Right? If it came straight down, it kind of changes the complexity of the entire haircut. You want to keep that uniformity of everything flowing straight back. So I told my first class this, and they had no answers for me. I wonder if you will. Think about that. What I do like about this situation right now, we're still talking about this haircut, is that his hair is still moist. It is still hydrated. I have not had to resaturate the hair. A lot of times we get to this place in the haircut, if we've only used water, what do we have to do by this time? Resaturate the hair, which takes away what? Time, which now takes away? Come on, time is money. Money is time. Anybody like money? Can't hang with me, I'm sorry. All right. So, we've preserved a lot of this length that is on the top of his hair. Now I'm going to push. Do you guys know how to find natural partings? Yeah? How do we find the natural parting in someone's hair? You smush the hair forward, and however that thing wants to part is how it wants to part like that. I love that. I love that for you. Amazing. So now we're going to comb all of this back down, right? So now we're going to go into the blending portion of this particular haircut, where all we're going to do now is blend the sides to the top. But no, so now we're going to go ahead and connect the top. All we're doing is we're taking the shortest piece of hair from the side of the head, and we're connecting that to the top of the head. We talked earlier, he normally, before all this, kind of wore an undercut kind of a feel, right? Now that his hair is growing out more, it's going to be more uniform kind of flowing, so we have to kind of even that out to have it grow with uniformity by connecting the sides to the top. Yes?
The more you head to the nape area, are you angling it at a 45, kind of like diagonally down to go into the nape?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I am. I'll kind of turn him even more so you guys can kind of have an understanding. I'll take a parting from the top of where we are, kind of still on that, working that diagonal, pushing that forward, taking this bit of hair that we're getting ready to cut right here, grabbing it here, angling. You see this is the shortest piece of the hair in my hand right here. So now I'm gonna just, anything that falls outside of that, and I can't really do it because I'm left-handed and this is, so then with this portion here, I want to keep some of this texture in here. So I'm gonna come in, I'm gonna point cut. Does everybody kind of see this flow that we have going in here, how it all is flowing backwards? Now I'm gonna do the same thing that we just did over there. I'm gonna just quickly do this on this side. I'm running out of time. See what happens with that? How it falls at the top of the ear? Well, all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my shears and just come around the ear with the shears. So I'm gonna just come this way here, make a cut, fold his ear down, and just kind of cut that portion. So now that flows a lot better over his ear. Same thing we'll do on this side, and I feel like I have to step down here because I'm left. Also here, not as much, but we're just gonna kind of come in this area and do that. This, Carlos, you leaving here looking like Antonio Banderas. So here we go. Now we transition. What is step number 3?
Blow dry.
I don't got no more comb for you, bro. I apologize. You already got it though. So now we're going to blow dry. Who remember what we put in this hair to use as a cutting agent? Gel. Control gel, right? So now when we get into the blow dry portion of this, I now can build volume because I have a gel inside of his hair already that has a little bit of hold. Okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to grab this vent brush that we have at Johny B here. Vent brush is very, very good. It has rubber nodules. It is vented. It is carbon fiber, so it does not get hot, does not warm. And it has a great opportunity, great ability to grip the hair and give us a really, really good blow dry. Okay. That blow dry fire.
Blow dry, best blow dry.
Blow dry in the market for sure. He said, "This is the style graphic sale blow dry." I'm not working for them right now. They're not paying me. It's a blow dry. But what this has the ability to do is, because the teeth are held so good and the rubber nozzles, it really holds the hair really, really well. Right? So I get really good tension. So I just go in there, same kind of deal that you would do with like a round brush, kind of get to the scalp. And because that control gel is in there, it's going to build us some really, really nice volume with this blow dry. Who knows? So you guys see I'm kind of over directing this hair forward as I blow dry. You guys see that? Let me get in here. So as I put this comb in here, this comb in here, I'll grab that hair and I'll pull it forward a bit. Okay? What is that creating?
Over direction.
Volume.
Over direction, and it in turn creates volume. Okay? So we're going to go ahead and I'll turn this back on, create that volume in the front. How often are you guys doing blow dries? With every service almost? Who hasn't blow dried since they become a barber? I do. I do.
Two sides to do it.
I like blow drying because it helps you style so much better. It makes styling so much easier because I'm putting it in the shape that I want right now. As soon as I'm turning this blow dryer, I'm now doing exactly what I want to do, the shape that I want this to end with. Who knows what shape I cut into his head? Think about the partings I use. What shape did I cut in? What partings did I use?
Diagonal.
Okay, if I do enough diagonals, what does that end up looking like? If I do a diagonal on this side, a diagonal on that side,
It's gonna be like a V.
triangle. Right? So remember when we cut in here, there's three shapes that we can use when we're cutting hair. Square, round, triangle. Diagonal partings, diagonal, diagonal, comes out to a triangle. If I would have pulled the hair straight off of the head and cut straight down, that would have been a square. If I would have rounded my way around the haircut, that would have been a circle. Right? So triangle partings create a triangle shape. I mean diagonal partings create a triangle shape. Understood? Good looking guy. Huh?
I have a question.
Yes.
You didn't use any texturizing shears?
I did not. Well, because when I got to the top of his head, when I got towards the front part of the frontal part of his hair, I point cut. So that point cutting built in texture in the front of the hair, and that's what you're going to see that falls here that leaves that texture at the top and on the side of the front, which I don't really have to go back in and texturize his hair. Now he does have a thicker bed of hair. If I wanted to kind of thin that out a little bit more, I could kind of slice cut. Everybody know what slice cutting is? With my texturizing shears to kind of take out a little bit of that thickness. But right now, because he's growing his hair out, I don't want to do that because then that gives uneven length to the middle of his head. Right? This right here, the product I'll be using to kind of give him a finished look at the end of this. Oh, I'm right on time. It's street cream. Okay? The one thing, every pomade that I have in my shop, I have all of these. We offer a lot of different pomades, but I have all of these. So I'm gonna take just a very, very small amount of street cream. I'm gonna pass this around for you to smell, for you to look at, for you to touch it. It does have fibers built into it. So you talk about a matte finish, a clay, something of that nature, but it also has fiber in it that causes the hair to kind of give you texture that we're looking for. As you all can see, as you pass this around, it is a yellow color. It is yellow. I put this on my finger and I emulsify this in my hand. I know the product is ready for distribution when it goes from yellow to white. That lets me know the product is ready to be distributed through his hair. So now I take this here, I begin to kind of flow my hands through it to get coverage all over. So now you guys see that even distribution throughout the hair. I take the brand new Johny B spreader comb, is one of our newer combs. Find where he had that natural parting at, and now I'm just gonna comb this through his hair to give us the final desired look that we want. I built in some volume. This has a lot of hold, but at the same time with that hold that we have in here, I have pliability, right? The hair now can move. It can act as its own. It can do its own thing now, but it's at a situation where it does have product in it. Do you like a little bit of shine on your hair too, Rose?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's add a little bit more control. And that's why I like all of our products. We can cocktail them all, and it all kind of gives us exactly the look that we're looking for. Crystal, don't take my stuff. Other one did. So we have not messed up the integrity of what he's been trying to do with his hair. We've kept the length in there. And now we have just kind of cleaned it up around the ears, cleaned it up around the nape. And now we have a really nice kind of look that we're going for right here in the back of his hair. And we have a lot of volume that we built into the side at the same time. Okay? Next product we're going to talk about, and I'm going to show you guys, is our talc powder. Right? Talc, I remember Johnson & Johnson? Baby powder? Remember what happened?
No.
It was bad. They were talking about some cancer stuff and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
So we was like, ooh, that's not really good. and this ain't even really opening. But we have changed our talc powder to have cornstarch, which is a finer grade of powder, which means that it evaporates and dissolves on the skin a lot faster. Oh, there it goes. I'm going to put this on my neck duster here, and then I'm going to also pass this around. Okay, I want you to touch it, I want you to feel it, I want you to feel how silky it is, right? It leaves our clients with a better feeling finish at the end of the haircut. Because now we're in step 4. So now I'm going to remove this. I'm going to remove any of the fine hairs that may be remaining on Carlos. I don't want Carlos, you see how it's a lot more finer, it's a lot more silky. Great product. That's actually one of my favorite Johny B products, if I'm being honest. Only reason he bought it is because he had came to me to get a haircut right before his wedding, and I sprayed that on him at the end. And every time I cut his hair, he told me it reminded him of his wedding day. He always felt like that was that was the smell he smelled when he said I did his wife. So these are not just oils or astringents. This is something that people use now, almost for nostalgic feelings. Appreciate you guys. Enjoy it, you guys. Thank you guys so much. Everybody look how beautiful Carlos is. Still looks amazing. Shit going on, right? Take too much off. Steven, my boy, appreciate you, man.